I have sent a total of 288 Upwork proposals. Best believe I have learned what has worked well and landed me cool gigs and what has worked horribly, tragically, catastrophically. In this video, I'll share 9 of the biggest mistakes beginner freelancers, including me when I was a baby duckling back in 2016, make on Upwork proposals. These are compiled from my freelance journey on and off Upwork since 2016, working with 40 plus freelance clients and hitting 6 figures in 2020 as a full-time freelancer. Hey, my name is Dea, freelancer, digital business manager, and most recently entrepreneur. And as always, you can find sections on the play bar below if you want to skip to a certain part of the video. Your time is precious. Take what you need. If you want to watch this on 2x, please feel free to do so. I will not be offended. Okay, let's dive straight in. The first huge mistake is focusing only on yourself, the not so humble brag, as I call it. The biggest thing we want to do in our proposals is focus on them. Be as client-centric as possible. We normally all orient around ourselves as the center of the universe, understandably, but it's not about us when it comes to landing clients, it's about the client. The faster you slip into their shoes, the faster you will actually land paid gigs. So what does that mean more practically? In the front part of your proposal, make sure you hook them with information about them, something unique to them, to their proposal, to their business, to their industry, and what they need before ever starting to talk about yourself. Check you use you instead of I more often in your proposal. Another tip is to repeat their words back at them. Use the same words and messaging and languaging that they use. If they say they need help with driving people to their blog for free, use that same language back at them when showing your experience instead of throwing other similar or more complicated terms like organic traffic or acquisition or lead generation at them. You want to speak in their language using words that they know. Another thing you can do is answer the questions that they're thinking to themselves as they're reading through your proposal, which are things like, did this person understand what I actually need help with? Like reading comprehension wise, can this person do what I need them to do? Do they have that expertise? Do they have that skill set? Do they have proof that they know how to do this? Do they have testimonials? Do they have portfolio samples? Are they communicating themselves clearly? Because that's one of the biggest soft skills that you'll need to make sure you have in tip-top shape if you want to find any success as a freelancer. Always make sure that you double check that your proposal answers these questions because that is what the client is thinking when they're reading through that. Something I found really helpful to do in a proposal is give a little free value upfront. A little generosity and strategically leading with value will do wonders for you in client acquisition. Notice I said a little generosity. You don't need to give them like a whole step-by-step guide. Give them a little tidbit. Give them tease them a little bit with that information. It not only establishes credibility, first of all, it shows that you know what you're talking about and you're actually an expert in this field. Second, it's also a really great way to practice reciprocity. When you give something before a client has ever even paid you money, it can make a client feel like you've done something for them and they might want to reciprocate and do the same. It also makes you seem more trustworthy than somebody who kind of keeps all the good stuff only once money has exchanged hands. Third, a little freebie bribery never hurt anybody. So here's an example. If a client mentions in her job description she's having issues with too many customer support questions in her inbox, she's drowning in it, I may write something short in the proposal like, hey, I noticed you mentioned you're getting a ton of customer support questions, emails. Have you considered implementing something like Intercom or Drift to help manage that? It can really streamline customer support, help you use templates so that you don't have to retype everything, and keep it all out of your inbox so it's not so overwhelming when you log in. Saying something like that is valuable, and it also potentially starts a conversation where they may say something like, I've never heard of Drift. Do you like it? Or would you be able to set that up for me? That has happened to me a lot of times where I give a little value and they're like, wait, can you do that for me? Right? I've had clients start conversations with me just via the tidbit in the free value I gave them. And I do this off Upwork as well. I slide into people's DMs or Facebook messages and just offer free value up front. It shows confidence as well. Mistake number 3 is not answering why you, right? Establish credibility specifically. AKA, don't just write, I'm really good at copywriting, but instead something like, I specialize in conversion copywriting. Recently, I was brought on to rewrite a core sales page and my version converted 12% better than the original, resulting in $42,000 in extra income for the client's launch. Critically think to yourself, what is my unique selling proposition? Why me? Are you very eager to learn and can figure anything out? Are you a fantastic communicator? Do you do things faster than others? Do you have a background in the client's industry? Figure those things out, make a list for yourself. And if you're thinking I don't have any of those, I promise you have those things. If you don't have it in experience or technical expertise, you have it in your soft skills. So find those, hone those, because those are your competitive advantage when you're just getting started. The fourth mistake is not personalizing. Rookie mistake. Use their name. It's so easy, right? It's so easy. It's right there, right? And another thing you can do is refer back to one or two things that they mentioned in their job posting. Here's an example. I saw you mention you're using Asana right now. I love Asana. It's what I use with most of my clients as well. That's like immediately like, hey, I read your thing. This is not just a copy pasta kind of thing. Like this is actually written for you. And it shows experience in using the tools that the client already uses. Another recommendation for personalizing is share only one or two relevant samples, not your entire portfolio deck. Business owners are busy, right? They don't have time to look through 30 things. So pull out like one or two things that really illustrate what they need help with or most closely resembles it, and just share that so that they're seeing really like the quality over the quantity in your portfolio. Fifth mistake, not doing any research. If they give you a name, a business name, a website, anything, any breadcrumb, just Google it. Be a super spy. Do your homework. 95% of your competition is not doing this. So take the extra 10 minutes to do this and you will have a leg up on them ASAP. I look up everything. I like click every single link that's available to me in Upwork. I click through the client stuff. I look at their past jobs, everything. I Google everything, find websites. And sometimes when you actually do your research, you can pull out valuable things that you can share based on their website or based on something you find. Like, hey, I noticed on your website you don't have a lead magnet capture. I'm curious why that is. That's a really great way to grow your email list. I would love to help you set up something like, like it starts the conversation. You are just doing a little bit. Like, I'm not saying you have to go super sleuth and like do 3 hours of research. Just do 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and you will already be in the top 5 to 10% of the proposals that this client is getting. Promise. The sixth mistake is not engaging the client in conversation. I love doing this in a proposal. Really, your goal is to start a conversation where the client feels compelled to respond. Because once you're in a conversation, it's so much easier to figure out what they're stuck on in hiring you and then talk them through that and essentially book them as the client. So ask a question, insert a call to action into your proposal. So here's an example. I would love to chat more about how we can drive more free people to your blog on a call. Would Tuesday morning EST sometime work for you? Right? Another example, ask them something just purely out of curiosity. I noticed you mentioned that you love using Google spreadsheets, but you're missing some customizability. Have you considered using something like Airtable before? It may solve some of your issues like blah, blah, blah. That's immediately going to start a conversation with the right client because they're thinking to themselves, oh, that is interesting. Like, I wonder, can you tell me more about Airtable? Or like, hey, well, like, how would it solve your issues, right? The client's only thinking about their pain points. So if you hook them in with a question, with curiosity, with some sort of clear next step, some way or another, that will start the conversation going. And that's really what you want from a proposal. The seventh mistake is not considering a video cover letter. For jobs you really, really, really want, like creme de la creme jobs, it can be really good to record a video cover letter, right? Your face equals more trust than text. So if you really want a job, if you think you're really, really a good fit, I encourage you to think about filming a video cover letter, whether that's with Loom or Vimeo or Bonjour or something like that. A video cover letter says something like, hey, yoo-hoo, like, I'm a real person. I could honestly make a whole video about making video cover letters, but my quick tips are keep it under 30 seconds, only talk about what they need, and establish your credibility quick. Do not ramble about yourself. The next mistake is, this is one of the most common issues I see across all the hiring I do for clients and for my own business. It is really, really, really lazy answers where they just skimmed it and they just kind of wrote and then they were like, whatever, sent. And I understand it's a lot of work to fill out applications. I have been there, but the solution is not to send 30 lazy applications. It's to send 10 really good applications, right? Quality is better than quantity at some point on Upwork, so take your time. Answer all their questions in detail. You will be doing more than most of your competition. I have been shocked by the laziness that I have seen in so many job postings for so many clients that I've put on Upwork and also off of Upwork. So if there's a question, for example, like, are you a good team leader? Don't just write, yep, or totally, I love leading teams, it's my favorite. Instead, share an example of when you have been a good team leader. Show, don't tell, give them detail. It's more memorable for the client as well. And finally, this is contradictory to the previous point, but once you've written out your proposal and all the answers to their cues, go back. Don't just press submit. read it out loud and edit out all words, all sentences, all text that aren't adding additional information, that are completely unnecessary. Try to eliminate all long paragraphs, use proper formatting, separate out big chunks of text into smaller, more readable ones, use bullet points when you're making a list of things that you're comfortable with experience, with tools. Keep it super skimmable and readable because again, business owners are busy, so we want to kind of make things easy for them every step of the way. Now that your proposals are on point, get it? Proposal point. Make sure your profile is on point too. I've got a video here with my favorite Upwork profile strategies for titles, overviews, pricing, testimonials, more to make sure you're making that amazing first impression with clients making it to your profile. Click it if you want to watch that. No pressure or anything. And as always, thanks so much for watching and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.